My computer is sick in an oddly specific way, and I've been unable to figure out why. So I'm hoping to show you some of the things that are going wrong, and hopefully one of you can figure out and tell me in the comments. Anyway, let's jump into it. So, to show you the behavior that I'm experiencing, or at least the most reproducible one of the behaviors, I'll tell you about some of the others in a second. Sometimes my machine seems to think that things take exactly 0 nanoseconds to execute, which is literally impossible. Yes, my computer is pretty fast, but there is no way you can start and stop a process in 0 nanoseconds. Just to show you what I usually use to do some very rough sub-process profiling, I wrote this crappy tool called Best Of. It's not on PyPI, it's in my Scratch repository, because literally all it does is take a command, take a number, loop on that number, call monotonic before and after. Monotonic is a way to measure time in a non-decreasing fashion, in theory. And yes, astute observer may say, oh, you should use perf counter instead. And on Linux, perf counter and monotonic are the same, so there's no, yes, I understand. However, they are the same implementation on Linux. And putting perf counter in here doesn't change the behavior of this, which is very strange. Anyway, it calls the subprocess, checks the difference in time, and eventually at the end tells you the best one. And so if we take some commands that should take some amount of time, for instance, like Python 3-c empty string, sometimes, well, we're not getting good examples here, but sometimes this command will take exactly 0, and if we do, I don't know, best of 10, that'll probably be enough to get one taking exactly 0. You'll see that we get sometimes this command takes exactly 0 seconds. And this is not just exactly 0 seconds, this is 0 nanoseconds. Literally, I called time twice, and I got exactly the same value out, despite doing something that should take at least a few microseconds, probably almost a millisecond, to run in between. Python startup isn't particularly fast. And just to show you, best of to here, just to show you that if I change this to perf counter, and actually I'll show you what it looks like with perf counter nanoseconds as well. Best of 10 Python 3-c empty string. You'll see that yes, even with perf counter it does the same. And perf counter ns, s being nanoseconds. Yes, sometimes see, we got a non-zero number of nanoseconds this time, but this time we got exactly 0 again. So something weird is happening here. And just to show you another script that I wrote, which basically does the same thing and prints out any time that they are the same, you'll see that it repeatedly finds cases where we run a sub process and get back exactly the same nanoseconds time repeatedly. Okay, so that's one weird thing that's happening with my computer, and at least the most reproducible one of them. The other one is a lot more subtle. Occasionally, when I open a terminal, of course, I'm not going to be able to reproduce it here. There we go, we got it. Occasionally when I open a terminal, it just accepts no input whatsoever. I can't close the terminal, I can't do anything. I have to literally click on the little X. Don't know what's causing that, but it's very weird. Another thing that happens pretty often is sometimes when I start this computer, the network disconnects. Don't have a good reason for that either. But the other thing that's perplexing is this is exactly byte for byte identical a virtual machine. There's the spoiler. It's a virtual machine. That's probably the weird behavior what's happening here. But this is a byte for byte identical virtual machine that I ran on a different computer and on yet another different computer. And all of those other computers don't experience this same behavior. They don't have this 0 nanosecond thing. They don't have the weird terminal no input thing. The network has never gone out. It just seems to work fine there. And so I was thinking, okay, something about this virtual machine, something about Ubuntu 24.04, maybe? Nope. I can reproduce all of these same things in Ubuntu 22.04 and 20.04, other virtual machines on this computer as well. So it's not specific to the Ubuntu version. The only difference that, well, a bunch of differences happen. The main difference between the two computers is this is my first build using AMD, and all those other computers are Intel machines. So that might be the difference. I also wanted to show you my machine settings in case there's some setting that I've somehow messed up here that has seemed to have worked fine before, but is now causing trouble here. Oh, they've changed the settings menu. Weird. I'm used to the old VirtualBox. I've also checked the VirtualBox version, so I've upgraded and downgraded that in all these, and not seen any differences there as well. But yeah, I give this VM a bunch of RAM. I give it a bunch of processors. I've checked that these are also enabled on the other VMs where I'm seeing the behavior, and on the other computers where I'm seeing the behavior as well. I don't think it's these settings. There's no execution cap. The number of processors is not the same, but not dissimilar on others. And I've had the same acceleration options here. I think anything else here is really important here, but these are all the same, so screen settings are the same. Nothing special with remote display, nothing special with recording, and the rest of this is just like network stuff. And the network adapter is the same there too, so even the network behavior is shouldn't be surprising. And nothing else is really important here. But I'm running out of ideas, and I'm a little frustrated by not being able to properly profile things, because one of the things I do a lot on my channel is dealing with profiling, showing something that's slow and then making it faster. But if sometimes we run a slow thing and it tells us it's exactly 0, something's not working out so well. Oh yeah, I guess this unit isn't. This is a nanosecond. I'm running out of ideas. Hopefully someone can help me figure this out. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think might be going on. And I'll see you in the next one.